The 9 to 5 BS podcast is back, guys, and we're actually living the dream on this podcast because a lot of people are, when I say they're living their lives through us, Sean, I don't know, but people are really enjoying this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, the experiences we're getting to read off people's stories is something else. Like,
you know what? After Fumi's episode last week, someone sent me a DM and she said that, like, she feels like this podcast is really great, not just for herself, but like a lot of people, because like presently she had to leave her job in Bielsa. She works at a bank and she has relocated to PH now because like she's been facing like sexual harassment from like her bosses, and like just minus that to the whole pressure of being like a bank marketer and having to, this man wants to sleep with you to like open an account, all those kind of things that she's going back to PH. And she was sending me a DM that if I know anybody that is looking for, she wants to work like in the photography, videography space, she wants to learn like video editing and stuff like that. I mean, these are real issues that that people are dealing with, and I'm glad that we're here to be your voice.
Yeah, this is a therapeutic session as well.
Exactly.
People get to sit down at home in their comfort zones and get to just watch and experience and listen to what they're experiencing through other people's lives and see how they can learn how to evolve out of these things.
Before we just go off and not introduce our guest, please, ladies and gentlemen, what should we name our podcast listeners? I beg.
Lyns, the majestic.
No.
I don't understand.
Majesty Lyn, thank you for coming on our podcast. Please suggest a name for us.
Welcome.
What do we call our podcast listeners?
The 9 to 5ers.
The 9 to 5ers.
Yes. I named it.
9 to 5ers. I mean, that works.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah,
I
guess.
Yeah, I'm just having small reservations because like it's only 9 to 5ers that come on the podcast.
Exactly, that's the irony behind it. They're not really 9 to 5ers, you understand? The show is talking about 9 to 5
bullshit.
Like, what better name than 9 to 5ers?
Because those are the audience. Yeah,
I know, right?
9 to 5ers.
Woo!
9 to 5ers. 9 to 5ers. 9 to 5ers.
Genius vibes going on in here.
I tell you. So our guest today is somebody that is. She is an amazing singer-songwriter, a talented vocalist. She used to spit bars back in the day. She probably still does.
She still does.
Well, she's going to prove herself here. She still does. Well, she doesn't. Right?
So we'll drop some nice, crazy beats.
No, we don't need beats here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Majesty Lyn. How are you?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much, Trust and Michael Ike.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's
every time.
Like, you're a very hard person to reach these days.
Just the
oh my God,
like, you're not easy to contact these days.
You literally have my phone number. You have my direct phone number, Trust, and there's no way in the world
okay,
reach out and I won't come running.
No, I'll second him on that too. The answer person.
That's a lie. Like, you never called me and I didn't.
Hey,
it's not possible.
Hey, look, see, it's a two-way thing. Friendship is a two-way thing.
I honestly wish Toby Peter was on this episode with us because like that would have been really fun. They would have
actually
eaten themselves up. not in that way, but they would have like.
Hey,
you gave me the look. You gave me the look, so I was just trying to.
I feel you.
They would have had a thing going on.
It depends.
Well, he's a black boy, isn't he?
9 to 5.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hey man, what we like is different.
Oh my word, Majesty Lyn. So tell us about your work history. I mean, I know you work as a full-time artist now, but I mean, have you ever worked it in your life?
Well, technically, I've done a few jobs. I've done a few things to make money. Like, I had this moment when I was in school when I actually did like an Airtel job. It was like, when you're still in uni and you just have to, everybody's trying to make hustle and just try to make some money. I had when I did like a small marketing job for a short period of time with Airtel, and I still remember vividly they even had this show where they brought Yemi Alade to Aristo House, and then that was the period when I was working with them at that time. It wasn't something pleasant to me though. Like, it wasn't like I hated the experience, but it wasn't something I was used to, and it kind of shaped my path when it came to 9 to 5. But I think the closest thing to a 9 to 5 job would be, you can attest to it, the radio station job.
Yeah, we did that together.
When we both.
I mean, those are really fun times. So
Yeah,
those are really.
Yeah, so that was the closest thing to a radio station. That was the closest thing to a 9 to 5 job I ever did, because. Yeah, we still had to come on time to your show. It wasn't like you had to be in the studio every day or from morning till 5. But whenever you were needed in the studio, you had to be there. So that was the closest thing.
Amazing. So before getting into like what you currently do now as a full-time artist, we have this beautiful gentleman right in front of us here, and these guys are sweating because they need us to have a taste of them.
That didn't come out right, but okay.
I'm screaming, please now. So we're trying out a new brand. We're trying to launch something. At least by the end of season 1, we should have this going, right? Yeah. It's a cocktail brand, and we call it a taste of BS. So we're trying it out. We're trying the different flavors out. A taste of what? A taste of BS. Okay, you're on the 9 to 5 BS podcast, bullshit podcast. So you should have a taste of BS or not. All right. Yeah. So we have 4 options here. I really hope that you get to pick the pleasant one, because 1 out of the 4 is BS, but I already have mine. So.
Do you pick the one that's not the BS intentionally?
No, they are all.
They're all back now.
They're all mixed.
Put them back. I don't like this kind of thing. When you guys are so quick, you just pick your own. I don't trust men. It's nothing personal though.
Okay, I'll pick.
You just pick the same one, but it's cool.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Hopefully I didn't pick the BS though.
Fingers crossed that she picked the BS, guys.
I really
Fingers crossed that she picked the BS.
I hope I did.
Because like we've not had someone drink BS.
Yeah, like, nobody has.
No smelly, no
smelly. Just drink, bro. Come on.
Just drink it.
Stop
drink it.
But it's not that bad at the end of the day, safe.
Even the BS.
The BS is not bad. It's just a different cocktail.
I can do this. I didn't take the BS.
Bro,
wait, but like it is.
We need to up our BS game, bro. You should try this one out too.
Why are you so eager for me to try this?
Because somebody needs to be sure that.
Interesting.
Wow.
Somebody needs to. What does it taste like?
You know exactly what you put in.
No, but like you have. Come on now.
And water. An exaggerated amount of salt. And water.
Life is salty, right?
Yeah, I know. It's a perfect amount of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're about to talk about. This is really refreshing.
So, yeah,
to be very honest.
So it tastes of BS, yeah?
Yeah, it tastes of BS.
Cheers.
Cheers to it tastes of BS.
Cheers.
Okay. No go cheers me. What thing they do you?
I'm sorry, boss.
Alright.
Majesty Lyn, you work as a full-time artist now.
Yes.
I mean, both of you can connect on that level because you're also an artist as well. Full-time or not.
Like we always have like
shake hands.
Yeah, we like
I see you guys both have tattoos.
Oh yeah.
What's your ikigai? What's that word?
It's no ikigai.
It's Japanese.
What's the word? Remind me.
We will get into that. That is.
All right. So Lyn, I mean, what's it like being like a full-time artist? Like, when did this all start for you? I mean, I know part of the story because we're cool, but I'm sure Sean doesn't know that, and like a lot of other people. So it'll be interesting to share. Or do you know that?
No, I heard you can sing like Beyonce.
That's a lie.
That's what I heard.
That's a lie from Peter Herr.
So you don't believe you can sing like Beyonce?
I cannot sing like Beyonce. She's a mezzo-soprano.
I mean, like, you know.
I'm just a basic tenor.
The Beehive will probably hate this, but it's true. Trust sings like Beyonce.
but it's.
I have proof. The real proof.
That proof never crossed the internet though. I beg you, in the name of God.
I have proof.
But they will drag me. But I have recorded a few songs, so I don't know if that qualifies me as an artist. But I'm trying to get into like do more songwriting. I mean, because I now understand that there is a bag called the publishing bag, right? Songwriters get paid for writing. So I'm thinking I should secure that publishing bag pretty soon. Because I've written a few songs.
I feel you.
Yeah, I've written a few songs. I've also been in studio sessions as an A&R where I've helped a few songwriters shape their lyrics. Change this word, put this. I think that qualifies me as a songwriter.
And an A&R, and a producer in some countries.
In some countries, yeah. Okay, so tell us about your journey, man.
Yeah, sheesh. Funny enough, I kind of feel like it all started when I was at my grandma's house. I think I was maybe like, give or take, 12 years old when I started to pick interest in poetry. I was writing a lot of poems, and then I got to the point where I got into uni, and then it was a random day. I was just coming back from classes and I bumped into people doing a rap battle at the basketball court, and I indulged and I won, and I kind of felt like okay, maybe this is
good. I love it.
Yeah. And I felt like, okay, maybe this is something I should try, you know. And funny enough, prior to that time, I think what I was even trying to do, or what I had more interest in, was like modeling, and I did have my days when I did a little bit of acting.
Whoa!
Yeah, I did a little bit of acting. I even did like this 2-month acting camp where I actually went on a movie set. Like, it was crazy for 2 months in Newport then. But yeah, after that, once I was done with school, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to chase my dreams in Lagos. And I just woke up one morning and boom, I'm here.
And how's Lagos? And how's Lagos treated you?
Damn, bruh.
I can relate to that. I can strongly relate to that expression.
I love it here, but Lagos has molded me. Lagos has shaped me. Whatever I am today, I owe it like a very large extent of it, because my maturity really started after I moved fully to Lagos, and I started to, stay on my own, started to hustle, like really, really hustle and work towards making money. That was when I defined my career path and like everything that I wanted to do. So Lagos kind of like shaped me to be who I am today, including the traumatizing part.
I will get to that, but I think I also felicitate with her when she says Lagos shaped me, because I did an entire podcast about my moving to Lagos experience. You should probably check that out. It was called Troy and Six, and I just detailed out some of the things I experienced, from like finding food in Lagos, how bad water was, one episode that I particularly like was, I think, episode 3. It was called Sex in the City. And I had like conversations with hookah. I went to the streets of Lagos. I went to Sanusi Fafunwa and I interviewed a sex worker.
If you can bring a sex worker to talk about
life experience, that would be really nice. Actually,
that'd be really cool.
That'd be very interesting, because really cool. That's like the. I don't want to.
That's a profession.
That's a profession, bro. That's like a low profession, bro. Like I'm not.
The lowest.
That's the lowest.
Actually, that's the lowest.
I think it is.
Ethically, morally.
I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. All.
I feel like that's
all, bro.
It
might be. It might.
Some. You stand up. Sorry. Like the moment you wake up one morning and you decide that, okay, I'm done chasing my goals. I'm done dreaming. Fuck it. I will
bend over
and become a sex worker and tell my body to survive. I feel like you've hit rock bottom. There's no below that. There's nothing below that.
That's fact.
For me, I feel like that is.
So that's Lagos has molded me as well. I've met a lot of people here. I've literally built a career just by moving to Lagos. So it's interesting. I've met you, and I've met you before. I've met you in Lagos as well. So that's cool.
It's crazy, like that we're meeting here again.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. So as an artist, right? You're so far. Like, how has? Because you don't actually take for this game, like it's not be today, like since like I'm using like a lot, which I shouldn't, but it's same speech mannerism, but I cannot get over it. But let's go. Since 2015, 2016.
Professionally, professionally since 2018.
Insane. But I mean,
even 2018, if I hadn't released a song, so officially I wasn't like exactly an artist
at the time.
I released my first song in 2019.
Damn.
But like rap battles and stuff, 2016.
I remember that.
2016, 2017.
I remember watching you at it was Trace in the City in 2018. They had this campus store. I think it was the first campus store by Trace in the City, and Lyn took that stage.
I actually reminded Trace.
Bro, it was wild.
I'm impressed, man.
I cannot remember that line. It was a YC. It was a rap done on a YC.
YC beat.
Please, would you please remind us? Drop those bars, my friend.
I can't even remember the exact bars, but I think it was something like the meeting and Joko, my flows in had like a vocal, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
Yeah, that's it. It's been a really long time. I think one of your rap verses that I remember is the "In My Reality I'm Better Every Day." I've been listening to Burna while I'm
Burning Mary J, and that one is even recent.
Yeah.
As at that time, I hadn't written that. As at that time.
Okay, interesting. So I mean, what has Lagos done to you? I really like to start with the beauties of like Lagos. Like, who were some of the people that you had met along the way that contributed to your journey?
Sheesh, I don't want to say I've met everybody, but like,
I mean, those that directly contributed to your journey. So far.
Man, I've met a lot of people. But like to a very large extent, like I can't talk about my musical journey without talking about Black Bones and my comfortability in the music business. And I've learned a lot of things, just being around them Black Bones, Fireboy, Oxlade, just being around them, watching their journey, P Prime, being a part of their story. Do you understand? Like all of those things actually helped shape me. So there are lots of people, so many people, man. Chidima, Mastercraft, Don Jazzy. Like I cannot talk about my story without talking about Don Jazzy, because Don Jazzy played a very, very huge role. Even till now, like Jazzy still plays a very huge role in my life and in my career. He doesn't even realize how much he does for me. Like just by the little things, if it's like little support, and then like even down to my birthday, like Don Jazzy blew my mind last year for my birthday. So at the end of the day, like you just never truly know. There's so many people I've met in the industry, good or bad, good turned bad. So many people, even people I can't mention their names, but there are lots of people that have contributed to me getting to this point today.
Okay. So what would you say your working as an artist is like? Is recording the song the work, or is marketing it the work? Like,
to be very honest, both.
Because I want to hear where the bullshit is from.
At first, recording the song was just fun. That was before I got to understand the music business. So it's all fun and games until you keep releasing songs and nothing is happening.
Two streams.
You have so much hopes for it.
It's only a matter of time until you get to the point where you're like, wait a minute, there's something I'm doing wrong. So like, damn, it's both. Now recording the songs, I have to be more intentional, or I'm more intentional recording the songs, because I know that making the perfect song is the easiest way to market it. If you have a terrible song, no matter how much you market that song, it would never give you impact. And now we're not just talking about blowing up, it's even just little impact in your career that you need to take it to the next level, so yeah, it's both. The recording part is a part of the business. For me, it's a very integral part. In fact, it's the most important thing, because without the product, there's nothing to sell. So once the product is sorted, which is a lot of work to get a perfect song, as simple as it might sound, there's a lot of effort that goes into, and a lot of work that goes into making a good song. When you make a good song, then you have to focus on the business side, which is a whole lot of things, not just business. It's not just marketing. There are lots of things that are involved in the music business side of things, and if you don't have knowledge about it, you just keep running around in circles, to be honest. So both hard work.
Speaking of circles, where are your circles from? What have you done going around in circles in Lagos?
Oh man, I've gone around in circles. I've been signed so many times, worked with so many people. Yeah. I think the first time I ever had an experience with being signed was T-Spice. Remember that time?
Yes, I remember. Yes.
And all of us he even came down to PH and took us to like a studio.
Yeah, there was Debbie, there was Mimi, there was Lois. Only one Lois.
Yes. There were a bunch of people. So like that was like my first experience with being signed, and then after that I got a bunch of deals afterwards till I got the deal that I have now. But like at the moment, I can't really say anything bad though about what the journey has been like for me.
So what were some of the deals that, now looking back in your present state of mind, understanding the music business more, what are some of the terms in some of the deals you've had that it was like, no, you should never, like, I mean, if an emerging artist is listening to this podcast now or watching, right, they can take those pointers from your experience and say, oh look, Lyn had this deal, it was a bad deal, these are the things that she pointed out that weren't working in her favor, and I can think about that, and when I have an opportunity to sign a deal, I just remember that, oh yeah, Lyn said this.
Well, to be very honest, contracts sometimes can be very ambiguous because a lot of people don't have the time to actually sit down and construct a contract depending on the artist. So they just go online and just pick a format and then just send it to you. So most times
we're governing law in the US.
Yes, and most of the contracts that I've signed, they are very similar. You can just tell that this person just went and copied these templates and changed the name to your name and changed the other name to their name and then just sent it to you. And a lot of their terms are very ridiculous. So the one thing that I would say is, if you're trying to sign a deal as an upcoming artist, you need to equip yourself with the knowledge and all of the information that you can gather about the music business, so you know when some things don't align, understand with your journey. Like, it's so difficult, but it's something I would say you would learn on the go. But if you keep learning on the go, like, you lose
keep
a
hurting
lot of
yourself.
time. Yes, and you lose
time
a
and
lot
resources.
of time. Exactly, and you might even somehow find yourself losing your faith in your music, which in turn will make it more difficult for you to even want to embark on the journey in the first place. But you need to equip yourself. You need to learn. Google is our friend. YouTube is your friend. Go on YouTube, use the search engine, type things about music business, learn as much as you can learn about contracts, learn how to get deals, so that when you see a deal, you won't be too excited by it. Because a lot of times we're so excited that we fail to actually read the contract. There are lots of artists don't even read their contract. Lots of artists, they read the contract and then don't even understand it, but they'll just because you want to pretend like school no be scam and you went to school, do you understand? You pretend like you understand the things that are in the contract. It's not until 2-3 years down the line that's when you realize that, holy shit, in the contract they said I can't drink alcohol or they said I can't do this.
When you talk about contract, something that I see that has become like a permanent trauma for me is this word in perpetuity. God, I don't like that word. I like, once I see anything, I just read in perpetuity. I just check it first of all.
Or like a sunshine clause.
Bro. Because like you just go and sign. That perpetuity means forever. It's like kingdom come. And I'm hoping that on the podcast when I get like an entertainment lawyer at some point to walk us through how these things work. But you know, the way they draft these clauses, you know, in one part of the clause before they'll tell you that this is this, but in the another clause they'll cancel the other clause.
Exactly.
And so you need to get a lawyer, for lack of better words. You need to get a lawyer.
And even with a lawyer, like sometimes your lawyer might even
oversight,
because like I know, like my lawyers are amazing, but there are times when we've signed the contract and then later when it starts to play out, it's like, how did you miss this? Like, even I didn't see this. You know, like, they're not above mistakes. At the end of the day, lawyers are humans too, and contracts are like unnecessarily long sometimes. They just jump back it with all these plenty grammar, too many things.
And they are
sunset clause.
They're always covering the main things that the contract is about, like at the back, like at the end, towards where like no one actually goes to. Because the front is very appetizing. You make money, this one, that one, but like you're not gaining anything out of these things.
Exactly. So everybody has to be very careful. Like, it's not just music business, you know, like funny enough, many people don't understand that the music business is just like every other business out there. As a matter of fact, it's a $1 billion industry, so you can't expect that the people that are doing the music business are not 9 to 5ers. Do you understand? Like, there are actual 9 to 5ers. There are people like me and you that have jobs.
Day jobs.
Like, it is people's day jobs. It's just that when you look at the life of an artist, it looks flashy because we have to wear all these fancy outfits and, like, you know, always dress up or carry ourselves a certain way to make it look like it's fun. It's not fun. If it's always fun, like you're doing something wrong, you have to be equipped with all the knowledge and information you need. I can't overemphasize on that. You need it. It's not a people just wake up one morning and be like, oh, I want to be like Wizkid. You can't just wake up one morning and be like Wizkid. You need to understand what Wizkid did to get to the point of being Wizkid.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's so many things involved and you need to treat it like an actual business. Me that I'm even saying it, I need to
you need to up your game, step up your game.
I need to be treating it much more seriously. But yeah, because it's a fun business, we lose ourselves in it sometimes. You know, it's fun. Music is fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, speaking of losing yourself in it, right? As an artist, like I know that I'm aware that there are times where it can really get hard.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean, I believe you would attest to the fact that as an artist, there are times where like it feels like you hit rock bottom and like nothing is working out for you, right? So like, what are your coping mechanisms, or like what have you had like those times that are like rock bottom?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've hit rock bottom a couple of times. Like, to be very honest, I feel like every single time that something great is about to happen in my life, no matter how small it is, there's always that moment where there's a still, there's a silence, there's nothing happening. It almost seems like, are you sure this is the right path, or you're doing something wrong? Do you understand? There's always that moment, but man, like, if you don't remind yourself why you started in the first place, that's why I say music is not the kind of business that you should enter with the mindset of you want to make money, or you want to do it because you're seeing people doing it, or because of the fame. It's more than just that. If that's what you're depending your life on, what if it doesn't work out? Do you understand? For someone like me, that I keep on saying that I've dedicated my entire life to music, like I can't think of doing anything else. For me, music is not just about the money, because I've spent so many years doing music without making money from it. Do you understand? But at the end of the day, it's more than just that. You know, like, it's not even just the legacy for me. It's family, it's proving a point, even to myself, to the self that started the journey, you understand? Every time I want to give up, I have to keep reminding myself that, oh, listen, the 19-year-old you that woke up one morning and said she wants to go and do this thing, do you understand? You cannot let her down. Do you understand? I have to keep reminding myself that all the time. The reason why you started, you can't go back home now and everybody be like, what happened? Do you understand? What are you doing here? Do you understand? Every single time that something has almost happened and never happened, I know it's because something greater is coming in the future. And it just keeps on manifesting itself like that over and over again. So I'm no longer as phased as I used to be in the beginning of my career. Like, it used to hit me really hard. Like, maybe if a deal I was working on now doesn't work out, like, I can go a whole 2-3 months just feeling extremely depressed and like rethinking my decisions. But the one thing that keeps me going is reminding myself why
you're starting.
I didn't just wake up one morning and say I want to do music because of money. If it was money, I would have done so many other things to get myself money. It's not just because of the legacy. There are lots of things you can do to get a legacy, not just music. And it's not like you're the most talented person out here, because if you want to see talent, you go to choirs, like in churches. Like, there are people that are singing, the Holy Spirit is coming down. So who are you that you're singing one song in the club? Do you understand? You expect a huge impact. Do you understand? But at the end of the day, it takes more than just that. Music is dedication.
I agree.
Yeah.
I remember listening to Onyeka Onwenu at some point. I think that was at her book launch, maybe 2 years back, if I remember correctly. And she said at every point in time where she was being an artist, she had at least 2 to 3 things she was doing to fund her music career. So she was working all along. She was doing something. So I feel like it's also like double pressure for an artist that maybe now has like a daytime job in addition to doing the music, because like it's like you have to deal with your boss that is probably silly, you know, and then you now have to come back and deal with this booking agent or this club manager that's calling you for an event that they're not going to pay you for. They're arguing or giving you whether they'll give you 50k logistics or not, or either they're booking a hotel. I feel like it's a lot. for artists like to deal with.
Yeah. But like I also feel like if you want to do music, it will be difficult to successfully do music with a 9-to-5 attached to
I
it.
agree.
Because 9-to-5 requires time.
Yes.
Music requires time.
Music is a lifestyle.
Yes.
Music is not a career that you're sure you're going to get financial results. You're not going to get. It's not a salary. It is you just living your life. That is, if you can do that enough, if you can do that to a specific amount of where people actually like you and you can actually make finances from, fine. That's when you are now famous. But it is a lifestyle.
I mean, I agree. I'm just also saying that there have been artists that have, done 9-to-5s. And I feel like, just like the conversation we had with Fumi at some point, they realized when it was time to leave and walk out the door. I mean, I heard Thames used to work at a bank. Me and as well, we used to work at a bank.
Yes, but if you check every successful artist that used to have a 9-to-5, just before their break, they always had that moment where they will tell you, "Oh, I had to now quit my job."
Yeah.
You must take focus on one thing. There has to be that step of, okay, I am willing to risk it all and really focus all of my energy on this thing. I feel like that's
this is low-key scary. Because there are a lot of artists out there. Like, there are a lot of people, even people that have no business being in a recording studio, right? There are a lot of these people out there. Now, imagine if all these people say, "I am not going to do anything with my life, just music." I'm just thinking about it in a perspective that a lot of people will be hurt in the process. I feel like a lot of artists will be hurt in the process of trying to find themselves to say this music is now here I die put.
One thing we need to understand that people fail to get is that music is not for everybody. You can be extremely talented and music is not for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There are factors that determine if an artist is going to be successful or not.
Right.
And sometimes it's just us being lazy enough to find out if.
I mean, even if they are successful, does that still mean that an artist, that anyone is supposed to be able to have a career, like musical career?
Exactly.
Like,
not everybody. Even if you're good. Like, for example, now if I wasn't a musician, I would have still been in the music business, but I would have focused more on the A&R
perspective.
Side, you understand? Because and I can say this comfortably now because I took my time. I did a whole year that I wasn't dropping any music. I just studied the music business, and then of course we did MBA together. Do you understand? I've had my time to study the music business enough to understand that it's not for everyone. You can be extremely talented and music is not for you. Do you understand?
I agree.
Yes.
I mean, I have a friend.
If you want it bad, like at the same time, nobody can decide your fate or your destiny for you. If you want it that bad, you have to be willing to do the things that require getting it. Do you understand? Which means taking risks, making sacrifices. It's important.
And I think you also need to be able to tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
Like, that self-awareness is actually very important because there are people that, like you said earlier, they have no business being artists.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have what it takes as per maybe vocal delivery. I mean, there are exceptional cases. Like, I forgot this guy's name, but he had this song one time that was a one-hit one that was played heavily on the radio. There's another guy that had this song. I used to work on the radio at the time.
Even Corey Bello now.
Corey Bello is not a one-hit one.
But like, he was a whole time. But where is he now? Like,
no, that's not even the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to cite that. I think my train of thoughts was that there are people that have no business being in the music as an artist, but they are special exceptions. People that have scaled through successfully. I mean, there was a Vico at some point. There was a Speed Darlington at some point.
There is.
There is.
They're
still there. But like
Vico and Speed Darlington hear this year.
And this will be a time to tell all those people that think that Portable is not a decent artist. You guys are playing and sleeping on Portable.
Portable is a very decent artist.
He is Portable is who he thinks he is.
Yes, like my favorite Portable song is the Apostle song.
I mean, I might not be a fan of the kind of music he does, right? Because like it's very street and very raz. But when you hear the Fuji in him, like see those things he does with his voice, it has an audience.
And then his brand.
Exactly.
Portable has a brand that stands the test of time. Like Portable's brand will outlive a lot of decent musicians, whether we like it or not. That's the truth. A lot of musicians, because of the whole ideology behind branding and
archetypes,
sure
and I want to be a creator, I want to be
you have to be a certain way to fit the standards of the industry. Because of that, a lot of us hold ourselves back, and I can't even lie, I'm guilty of it sometimes. Like, for example, if not for some certain situations, you understand, you can't catch me out like this in slides with no makeup on a podcast. Do you understand? Because I'm so focused on making sure that my brand is a particular way. So I'm very particular with the way everything is. Do you understand? But somebody like Portable now, he doesn't care. You call Portable in the morning, Portable will jump up from bed and just come and do what needs to be done. Do you understand? And that's the drive that a lot of us musicians don't have. So you can't come out and start talking about Portable not being a decent musician when he's doing everything that you're not doing. Do you understand? He's doing everything right. And you can't even say that the nigga is not talented, because that's a very talented person. I've heard Portable sing live. Do you understand? Like, I've heard his voice. He actually knows how to sing. Forget the whole controversies that surround the guy. Like, he actually knows how to sing. He's a pretty decent musician.
Interesting.
If you ask me, I'm a fan.
I never took a step back.
You should listen to the Apostle song.
I never took a second.
This performance was really this. I think that was
think
a
about that, man.
That swayed my perception.
What? Like, this is the first time I'm actually realizing that. Because me, I don't listen to anybody. I'm so sorry. I don't listen to any musician. If you hear the type of music I made, you were hearing it right.
Yeah.
It's like just instruments just playing in the background.
The rock star.
It helps me. It helps me to think, It helps me to relax and understand what I'm physically doing. Because if I'm listening to someone else's lyrics, it can literally affect me. So, maybe I'll go back and check on these guys and see what people are actually talking about, so I'll know who to relate with and all that.
Interesting. Lyn, what's it like being a female in the industry? Because I've heard a lot of times, when you look at our landscape in Nigeria, we don't have a lot of female artists. There's Tiwa on one hand, there's Emile Ade on one hand, there's Niniola on one side, there's Tenny on one side, and now there's Stems.
And Ira.
There's Ira Stars, where Fave.
Ira.
Baby girl Ira.
Call me Ira. We need to make music.
So now we have those, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the female to male ratio, there is a lot more. There are a lot more men in the industry than there are women. Yeah. So I guess my question to you is that, what do you think are the factors that might be limiting a lot more women getting into music as artists, and what has been your experience generally?
Okay, so it's pretty similar to the 9 to 5 scene. Do you understand? Except it's really different because music is a very, very tiny job. Do you understand? Yeah. And when you're a female, from a business perspective, let me be honest, like, we can say whatever we want to say, and all the misogyny going on, or the patriarchal nature of our music business, do you understand, or our environment, but that's not the only factor that determines why females are not being signed as much as males. Let's be 100% honest with ourselves. While we have a lot of females that are working really, really hard, we also have females that have given the industry the impression that women don't work that hard. Yeah. Do you understand? That's why they take exceptions like them Tiwa very, very seriously, because when they see a woman that's willing to, go out of her way to do things and make sure that she's chasing it like the guys do. Yeah. It's very hard to find a female that's going to do it like the guys do. Yeah. A lot of us, sorry, it's not even a gender thing, but a lot of people prefer the easy way out. Do you understand? So the system already designed it to be easier for the guys. It's like, it's a gender role thing, sorry to say. We know that the way our industry or the way our society is designed, the men are known as the providers, right? Yeah. So the society itself is designed to make sure that they facilitate it for the guys, because they feel like, before I can give this job to a woman, if I give it to a guy, we know what he's going to be doing with the money. He's probably the breadwinner of his family. He's probably the one doing all of these things. I'm not saying there are women that don't do it. Do you understand? Of course, everybody's hustling. Do you understand? But the system is already designed to facilitate it for guys. And also because of the limitations that we women have, a lot of women, after they reach a certain age, they don't want to work anymore. That's the truth. A lot of us, when we get to a certain age, our orientations start to shift. Do you understand? We want to have kids. Once we hit 30, 35, you start thinking, your mind is already running on an overdrive because you're thinking, oh, I have to have kids, I have to get married, I have to do all these things. And being that women are the ones caring for the kids, you're not sure if you can handle the pressure of being in a family. And it's sort of like the same thing Fumi was saying in the other episode you guys did. A woman has so many things. Like, we have to deal with our periods. We have to maternity leaves. We have to deal with sometimes we're just not in the mood. Do you understand? And you can't even blame us because our hormones makes it impossible when we are ovulating. All of these things. There are so many battles that the women have to deal with. Do you understand? For example, now before you can wake a guy up and just be like, before you wake up a woman at 4 a.m. in the morning and say, stand up, let's go for a club tour. Do you understand? We have to do 5 clubs and get back in the morning by, let's say, 6 a.m. You start thinking, should I call this girl by this time? Is the society even safe enough? There's so many things. But you know, if you call a guy, if there's no boat, he's going to jump in.
Yes, no.
He's going to do it. There are women that do it. Or like me, if you call me in the middle of the night, I'm going to stand up and do it. But
not
like, everybody can do it.
But like, even when women do these things, sometimes, like, you know, if they don't take the right procedures, like going through the restroom, cleaning up themselves, like, it starts to physically show that they are going through something very serious. But as for a guy, we can do this. We have 12-in-1 shampoo that helps us wash our shoe, our boxers. It helps us towel, brush our teeth. Bro, we're good to go, you know? So, like, women need more attention. Thank you. Attention. Basically,
something that comes to mind when I have these conversations with people or I see conversations on Twitter, on social media, is sexual abuse or sexual assault. Would you say this is like a deterring factor?
When I used to do acting, I don't want to say his name, but a director, a very popular movie director, once sat me down and told me to my face that I am not going to go anywhere unless I sleep with somebody in the industry, in the acting industry, right? You need to understand that there are lots of women that could have been Beyonce's today. There are lots of women that could have been Whitney Houston's today, and the reason why they never got to that stage was because there was one idiot standing at the beginning of their career that couldn't possibly have been the one to take them to the next level, but just because of that 5 seconds of the person made it impossible for that person to cross that path. Like, it's crazy, but it's true. Do you understand? I know how many times I could have given up in this music business, not just the music business, just generally in life. You understand? Navigating this world as a woman and having to deal with, you know, situations that would test your morality. Do you understand? Like, you now have to start thinking, questioning your own self. Is this who I am? Is this what I'm capable of doing? There are lots of things that there are lots of things
took a quick selfie.
There are lots of things you could find yourself doing that on a normal day they are completely out of your character. Do you understand? No, not everybody can do that. Not everybody wants to even be in that space. So by the time a girl, now picture this, a random girl that has spent her entire life being in the choir, right? She's very modest, and then she decides one day that, okay, I want to become a musician. She goes to the studio, and the first person she's encountering, let's say a producer that's probably an upcoming producer that charges 20k per beat, but because he knows that the girl doesn't have enough money or she doesn't have money to facilitate that song, do you understand? He'll start offering transactional sex. Do you understand? Not everybody would be able to do that. Some people would say, fuck it, because you don't want to do this. Somebody like me now, and what I really did myself was I went and I started learning how to produce myself, how to mix and master, I had to learn how to do Logic on my own. Do you understand? I had to learn all these basic things. I had to go on YouTube. I had to do the work just because I didn't want to have to go through that part. Do you understand? And I also didn't want to give up, but not everybody has that energy. Do you understand? Some people, once they get to that point, it's a hurdle. Once they get to that hurdle, is this the only option I have? It's either this or this. I'll give up.
As an artist, have you been sexually assaulted before?
Oh man, sheesh.
Because I mean, like these are the things that like females
the laugh
get
was
to
very
do.
nervous. Now this laugh is nervous.
I've had my own fair share of sexual assault.
Damn.
Live shows.
Different people, even people that has nothing to do with the music business, you understand? Like, I've dealt with my own fair share. Like, it's a general thing. It has nothing to do with the music business.
Yeah. Just being a woman, living, breathing.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, you know how they say 1 out of every 3 women has been sexually assaulted? I believe it's like 2. I've met way more women that have been sexually assaulted than women that have not been. Do you understand? At least at one point in their lives, even if they were not raped, they got to encounter someone that maybe molested them or harassed them. Do you understand? A lot of us have had to deal with that. Do you get? So it's nothing. It has nothing to do with the music business. It's just people need to do better in general.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
It's not even about the transactional thing.
Do better.
Men need to do better.
Men
I'm not saying just men,
better.
so it wouldn't look like a gender thing. Because
like,
women harass people too. Do you understand? Like, people in general need to do better. But in this particular case and in relation to this particular topic, yes, I have encountered so many hurdles in the industry that have, warranted some certain decisions. Yeah, I've had to deal with that.
I mean, something that still comes to mind, like even like in your journey. Earlier you mentioned Don Jazzy. I would like to circle back into that conversation again, because I can't remember the year it was. I think it was like a very pivotal year in your career. Like we saw Lyn with Don Jazzy. You went to Don Jazzy. Everybody was happy back home. Like it felt like a small fish in a small pond had left and swam into a river, ocean. I mean, that's Jazzy, right? So like, it was a moment that was exciting for all of us. What led to that, that meetup and that entire situation?
Man, okay, so first of all, I absolutely love and I adore Don Jazzy. Like I said earlier, Don Jazzy is like a godfather to me in the industry. And
Daddy Jazzy,
yes,
come on, godfather, me too.
Don Jazzy is like a godfather. He's like a father to a lot of people, but in this case, for me personally, and this is how I see him. You understand? I see Jazzy as more. If you never pass through Jazzy, you go hard. Do you understand? Like, at least at one point, everybody that has, I wouldn't say everybody because I don't know everybody's story, but most people will tell you that to a very large extent, Jazzy contributed or played a role. He did that. Jazzy introduced them to this person. Even if he doesn't sign you, like, at the end of the day, Don Jazzy has been there for so many people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And the situation, my encounter with Don Jazzy was a very simple one. I posted a video. I did a cover of Corey Bello's song, and Jazzy liked it.
What song was that?
It was one song called Joko. Then it was 2019. Yeah, I did a cover of the song. Jazzy liked it. Invited me to the studio, and I went and took it from there. But it wasn't anything too serious, which is why I still have a very great relationship with Don Jazzy today. Even if the deal itself didn't work out the way we both wanted, we still maintained that relationship and that mutual respect for each other. And till today, Jazz is still a very, very important part of my journey. Like, I cannot take that away. I cannot downplay that. You understand? Like, there's no way I would be blown up tomorrow now and I'll be giving my speech at the Grammys. And I will not say at one point that, thank you so much, Don Jazzy, because he played a role. Even the roles that he doesn't even realize that.
Yes, played.
You get time where I don't almost give up like this way. Jazzy, just his little support has giving me all of the motivation that I need, and that was all I needed. Like, I'm not even playing. This is like a testimony, but like last year for my birthday, I was completely broke. I was completely broke, and I'm not even playing. I was ready to go back home. And this is something that I wasn't telling anybody, but I was ready to go back home because I was down. I was on my last bar, and somehow Jazzy came through. Like, rent money came through from just how far take or buy drink go. He didn't even realize it because I didn't even need to even say it, but he played a huge role in my life. See, because after that time, that's when I now signed the deal that I signed. Do you understand? Immediately after that, I now signed a major deal. So there's no way tomorrow I'm going to be talking about my journey.
Because when you think about it, you probably have gone home, you probably have been depressed, turned off your phone,
and
when the calls come in, you probably wouldn't have recorded the video that you recorded that got the attention. It's like a ripple effect.
Exactly. So I would have even had a moment where I would have, maybe if I went back home, before I would gather enough money to start, getting like, you know, my rent sorted and all of these things. It would have taken me time, maybe perhaps like a couple of months, and then to get my bearings back and then come back to Lagos and start again. You know, Lagos, if you leave Lagos, you come back and start again.
The city is leaving you behind, bro. Lagos is really fast.
Lagos is really fast. So if you leave Lagos, Lagos will leave you. You cannot leave Lagos if this is where your center is. Do you understand? Except you have money. You have money. You don't have
taking notes.
I mean, so again, it's still like the Jazzy conversation, right? Because I remember the night that Lifesize Teddy was unveiled. It was a buzz, and it was not just a buzz for maybe outside people couldn't really care less, but we back home, like people that have roots in Port Harcourt City, right? We're quite excited because Lifesize Teddy. I mean, I went to uni with Lifesize Teddy as well. Yes, we went to uni with Lifesize Teddy, and she was unveiled that night. It was really exciting for a lot of us. Like, oh yeah, finally we get this act. And I remember I received a message from a mentor of mine. Then I just opened my eyes and I saw like 15 messages. And this dude was texting me. He was like, oh my God, I feel so bad, man. I feel so bad to Majesty Lyn. Like, I mean, he was genuinely concerned, right? It was like, oh my God, that he's wondering how Lyn will be feeling now. That it feels like this was supposed to be for her and has happened to Lifesize Teddy. Yeah. I was like, yo, I don't know what happened, but I know that at the end of the day, it's probably for the best. So yeah, I think where I'm driving at with this conversation is like, was there any type of feeling, or were you getting the same like messages from people saying, okay, you know what? I also saw a post on social. Somebody said, if you want sign person, how you go? How do you want Majesty Lyn to feel? Say you jacked her style and replicated it in somebody else. I mean, this conversation, these things were happening. Like, what was going through your mind with these talks?
To be very honest, and let me just say this here, since I have this platform to say this, a lot of people do not know. Do you understand? I got a lot of messages that day. Some people even came in and accused Teddy of stealing my style. Like, I got a lot of messages. Oh, this girl sounds exactly like you. First of all, Teddy is my love. I absolutely adore Teddy. Yes, I absolutely adore Teddy. Panico is my love. But what people don't know is Teddy started rapping even before I even thought about rapping at all. Lifesize Teddy and the ATL squad, they were already buzzing in school. In UST then, there was no show that you would do that you would not invite Teddy. There's no show that they were doing that Teddy, Amy and Swiss, they were not involved. They were everywhere. They were at every show. They were at every I don't say industry night, SUG week. They were everywhere. So Teddy is even one of the people that really even inspired me, you know. It has nothing to do with, everybody is on their own journey. It has nothing to do with me. Do you get? Teddy's path and my path are two different paths. Very different paths. Do you understand? And maybe there's that similarity in our vocal textures, which I kind of understand because we're both from PH, so our accents are kind of similar, and maybe our voice textures are kind of similar.
And the slangs you use.
Which I can't really hear in the voice texture, but maybe perhaps the accent. I got a lot of messages that day when Teddy was unveiled. It's so crazy because after Teddy was unveiled, the next day we were all at the club together. Yes, and I was getting a lot of messages from people, like a lot of friends of mine that felt like Don Jazzy should have signed me. You know, like this journey is a very crazy journey. I don't blame people that are not in the music scene for not understanding the way it works.
Yeah.
Jazzy cannot sign everybody. Do you understand? There's so many factors that determine an artist being signed, and sometimes things just happen that it doesn't happen that way. Yes, that might be the thing that breaks the artist or makes the artist. Do you understand? But for me, it wasn't a factor to hold me back. As a matter of fact, it was a push. Do you understand? These are the little things that I was saying, that sometimes negative things, positive things, but things contribute to where you're going to eventually find yourself. Do you understand? So there's no bad blood over here, and I never engaged anybody that was trying to bring any of that energy around me. You understand? As a matter of fact, I actually saw a post where someone was talking about, it was a tweet where someone was talking about how Jazzy replicated my style. And I literally had to hit the guy up and I told him to take it down, because you cannot say that. You don't know what the journey is. You don't know what the story is. You don't know where this person is coming from. I could have copied Teddy's style. Do you understand? And you don't know that. So don't be going around talking about things you don't really know about. And there was even someone that even hit me up and was talking about I should call them out. And in my head, I'm like, call who out for what? Do you understand? Like, anybody can sound anyhow they want to. And personally, I didn't hear the similarity in my music to Teddy's music. Unfortunately, I don't hear the similarities. I feel like our music is so very different. Maybe perhaps we still use similar words because we're both from PH. A PH person, we go still use the same slang.
With that, you use a head.
I tell you,
use a HQ.
If my Teddy day for here, they sit down now, they talk about this thing. Do you understand? Like, the vocal textures will probably be the same. The things we'll be saying would be the same. It would sound similar. It doesn't mean anybody's copying anybody. There are lots of artists from PH that sound like that. Just get used to it.
Man, the internet is crazy, man. Like, you worked on your own stuff. You're doing your own thing. Teddy's doing her own thing. But then somehow, some way, it's still, without knowing what is actually happening.
Have you not seen the battle of the
FC? I've heard. That's why I'm talking about this. Like, what I've experienced in 2 months. Blood of Jesus, it's insane. So I can't completely relate to exactly what you're saying.
I feel like I've spent the last few years just training myself on moments like this. Do you understand? I've been preparing myself for moments like this. Of course, when you don't blow up when everybody else is expecting, and like I said, people don't understand it. I could have signed to Jazzy then. Do you understand? And things wouldn't have worked out the way everybody expected. Do you understand? And the truth is, as at 2019, to be very honest, I didn't understand the music business. Maybe I would have learned on the go with everybody like everybody else, but everybody's journey is different. Do you understand? Like right now, the deal that I am, the label I'm under, is number one. Do you understand? So
Majesty Lyn, wait, don't move away from there.
My label is number one.
I have Asa. And I'm gonna send my answer to you.
My label is number one. And my label is not number one in Nigeria. My label is number one in the world. Yes, and
bro, that's some big money, smart money.
It's not some hype shit. I swear. My label is number one in the world. So like, perhaps if I had signed then, I wouldn't have gotten the deal that I have now.
This sweet deal, that shake everywhere like this.
maybe we'll gather and do like some services, devotion.
But like at the end of the day, that's why I keep on saying it. These are the things that makes it interesting. If it was just boom, you came from Port Harcourt and then the next thing the one person signed you and then the next thing you're blown and like the journey, they sweet like that. They sweet when you start to sit people down and tell them say, oh more. See, this thing almost happened, it didn't happen, and then this one almost happened and it didn't happen, and then eventually this one happened. For example, we were talking earlier about a particular person, and I was talking about how I nearly signed to them last year. Bro, the deal that they gave to me, at the end of the day, the entire budget for the entire contract was the money I was paid as my first advance. That was the budget for the entire contract, and that deal was going to cost me 2 years of my career. It was going to cost me 2 years. And that 2 years of my career, the amount of money that they intended to spend on everything is what somebody gave to me.
Say hold your side.
And said hold. It doesn't even cover up to 5% of what my entire budget is for this new deal. So at the end of the day, things just happen. Sometimes you just have to be patient with yourself, man.
Okay, speaking about patience, Lyn, what are we expecting from you today? Fire.
Mountains of fire.
God, I beg you. You have new music
coming out. Yes, anticipating new music.
And I mean, full disclosure, I feel like you should do a Lyn of the South, a version 2.
As a matter of fact, like, I was even thinking of, I took down the Lyn of the South, the initial one. I actually took it down because, I mixed the project myself.
Oh.
Yes, I mixed the 2 projects I dropped in 2021. Most of the songs myself, because I had a few songs that I actually paid to get mixed, but like maybe like 2 or 3 songs, because where I won't get the money. I sat down to mix them myself. Like, see me sitting down with logic. So fast forward to now, I'm feeling like so much more, can be achieved from those songs. So much more impact can be gotten from those songs. Nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste where I'm at, like.
So you're going back to rewrite, re-record.
It's not even re-record. I don't need to re-record. More like I want to mix them again and then put them out again. But what I'm thinking about doing is of course, the initial project would still be there, but eventually I'm going to release a version of the project that is properly mixed. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we've spent a lot of time having a conversation.
5 years here.
Thank you very much for joining us on this podcast. This was really interesting talk.
Thank you so much, Majesty.
Thank you.
It was lovely having her around today, helping me to make some nice decisions so that I will have the time that she used to blow.
But hold your thoughts. Let's see who is on our virtual board. All right, that's what's up.
Okay, so as I was saying,
now
that I have pinpoint my anchor points, everything that she has used to blow. Ha! Ha! Nigeria is going to hear something crazy. By the grace of God, please.
I'm close.
Big girl like Majesty Lyn.
I'm close.
Hey, I'm nowhere. If that's then I'm nowhere. If that's the case, I'm nowhere.
I don't understand. See this guy that's been trending since how many weeks?
God.
You've been trending.
But Sean, for real though, how have you dealt with this?
Me?
How does it feel to be on?
How does it feel to be on the receiving side?
Nigerians.
How does it feel?
I would say I need therapy.
Nah,
man, get the hell out of here, guy. Let's go paintballing. Let's go do something crazy. That's my type of energy.
All right,
I don't let shit get me down. So I just
but Nigerians, I love you guys, but
you guys need to chill.
Calm down.
Yeah.
That's fine. See you next week on the next episode, guys. Cheers.
Adios.
95 BS, nigga.
It is of BSO. Think about this. It's coming soon.
That's some good bullshit.
My voice seems like it's back, but a little bit with more punch, that kind of Dan Foster register, great voice, who I compare it to again on the radio? Rick D's on the midday always says, yeah, I know. You probably don't know who those people are, but
Yeah, you're not Gen Z.